What's going on, peoples? Your man Deep Crates here, coming at you for the Crate Show on kind of a somber note. It's been a rough week. Last week it was my birthday Friday, but before that, George Duke passed, Cosmo Allegretti passed, and my father passed. So, rest in peace to those three. They say it always comes in threes. I'm gonna pour a little out on the Crate Show live in the lab. Man, life is crazy. Not to dwell on me too much, but straight out of New Brunswick, New Jersey. My father was a good father, tried to be a good father. I hadn't talked to him in the last 20 years since he got out of prison. So it's kind of an awkward thing and too long to go into in this episode, and I'm sure you guys rather hear about George Duke, who's playing right now, I might add. And some of you are probably asking, who's Cosmo Allegretti? Cosmo Allegretti was a puppeteer, a puppet actor on the great Captain Kangaroo show. What does that have to do with records? Well, damn, Captain Kangaroo pressed vinyl. I don't want to bring everybody down with the sadness, so we're going to tune in some other frequencies, you know what I mean? We're talking about George Duke, Cosmo Allegretti. Cosmo Allegretti played Grandfather Clock, Rollo the Hippo. He was just a great imaginative guy that I grew up watching do characters on the Captain Kangaroo show. If you don't know Captain Kangaroo, Google him. If I'm slick, I'll have the links coming up here soon. But right now, rest in peace, Cosmo Allegretti. Like I said, rest in peace to my father who passed. We'll get into that in another episode maybe in the next week or two when I get into the origins of Deep Crates. Right now we're listening to some George Duke. Everybody sampled George Duke at one time or another, from Tribe Called Quest to Pete Rock, who both sampled this song, different pieces, minutes apart within the song. And for you West Coast joints, we got some West Coast. Sounds like maybe it'd be a Parliament album. This is George Duke. George Duke, best known for his synths, played on probably all the mothers of invention. If you know about Zappa and that craziness, I don't even know what you'd call that music. It's so different, so unique, considering right now it's over 40 years ago, in the late 60s, early 70s, I think, is when they did a lot of stuff. These from 1974, that previous, what's this one at? 77. So, everybody from Paris, WC, Mad Circle, Ice Cube, you know what I mean? Everybody's used this joint. So, big ups to George Duke. He had about 30 albums. I'm just going to show you a few. Faces and Reflection. And George Duke is so nice, I often bought him twice. This record, I might add, and if we could see the Princeton Record Exchange, I still have yet to figure out where the webcam is from the laptop. Oh, going away, I'm going near it. Where is it? Anyways, this is an original dig from like 89, when I first started, you know, getting into shit, producing and whatnot. Sorry for the lighting situation. But if you don't know Mr. George Duke, you probably do, because you know a hip-hop song that sampled him. Mr. George Duke. Definitely a master of his craft. Singer, songwriter, producer. Like I said, best known for his synths. You had Johnny Hammond, who was nasty on the organ. You know what I mean? You had Ahmad Jamal, nasty on the piano. Then you had George Duke, who was just so funky on the synths. And like I said, he's worked with everybody from Airto to Zappa, A to Z. There you go. You know what I'm saying? So check out Mr. George Duke. Pay your respect. You know what I'm saying? And now we're going to get into, last week we hit you off with the top 10 most influential hip-hop albums on my life. Here's a little beat off the MPC. I think you can see it in the background. Anyways, Mr. George Duke, check him out. Rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? Everybody pour a little out. Alright, we're moving on, keeping it moving, because that's the only way we do. Coming in at number 2, not necessarily, like I said, being the second to highest or second to lowest, Black Moon, Enter the Stage. This album was actually, let me see here. This is a true story. This cassette tape, Black Moon, was given to me by Jay Giles. Not the famous Jay Giles, but the infamous Jay Giles. Word up. Anyways, he bought tapes. Back in the day, he used to buy tapes. He didn't even know what the fuck it was. You were like, oh, it's some hip-hop shit? Let me check it out. So anyway, he bought this. He didn't like it. He was all into Ice Cube and West Coast, which was awesome, you know, Eazy-E, NWA. But as a young producer, beat maker, you know, I was trying to listen to everything, and obviously East Coast represent. So he gave me this tape, and I was doing a security job overnight, and it snowed. Big ups to anybody that ever worked security jobs up in Jersey, New York, tri-state area. You know what I'm saying? I had the midnight to 8 shift. I was going to Rutgers, trying to do the right thing, going to college, working 2 jobs, liquor store, security. I was chopping trees on the side and some other things, you know what I mean? Anyways, he gave me this cassette. I worked the midnight to 8. I think I listened to it 8 straight times in the Walkman. As soon as I got home, I took a shower, got dressed, waited for a record store to open. At that time, I was living in Plainfield, and Sounds Express, if you know Sounds Express across the street from the old Strand, and that record store next to the Strand, which we'll get into more in the future. Anyway, I ran down there, copped it, and you know what I'm saying? This album was done on blunted terms. Anyone who was offended by the content of the album, fuck you, enough said. That's what it reads on the back. Evil D, 5-foot MC, Franklin Avenue Posse. You know what I'm saying? I used to run up Franklin Avenue back in the day, and you'd hear stories about these guys. You'd see them in the arcade, you know what I'm saying? They was, you know, out there blowing up, doing their thing, and, you know, won't go into it on camera, but if you was up there in that time, FAP, you know what I'm saying? Big ups, big ups. Had some good times, some rough times, some hard times, some violent times up in Brooklyn, but I'm still here, so we keep it moving. Most influential albums of hip-hop on your boy THECRATEShow. Last week, Public Enemy, number 1. This week, Black Moon, Enter the Stage. Check it out. Rest in peace to George Duke. If you don't have a Dookie stick, you need to go get one. You know what I mean? Rest in peace, Cosmo. Thank you for all the puppets and voices. And rest in peace to my dads. Word up. Check you out next week. And fucking Mark Sanchez throws an interception, pick 6, first play of the game, of the preseason first game. God damn it! And Geno Smith gets hurt. It's gonna be a long season, talent. I'll see you, man. Peace.